SoundOff, Louisiana's premier television sports show. Coming to you from Sportsbook at L'Auberge Lake Charles. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
Good evening. Glad to have you with us for another programming, and that would be SoundOff, coming to you from the Sportsbook at L'Auberge. We're thrilled to have another great program planned for you. Of course, SoundOff brought to you by, in part, our L Club, L'Auberge Casino Resort, and Lundy Law of Lake Charles. A lot of L's in there.
That's a good thing.
Kevin Guidry, Rick Serra right here. Scooter Hobbs, the third wise guy.
Injured reserve.
Still on injured reserve.
Yes. We'll get him back
soon.
soon.
Him back on the playing field very, very soon.
We'll get him back soon.
All right. Last week, or earlier in the week, we did some in-depth conversation with the new McNeese State President, Dr. Wade Rousse. We appreciate him coming in and doing that. We're going to have more conversation with him later on in this show, so you really want to hang tight for that.
Definitely. Because
we got a lot of learnings from that. All right, this week, my gosh, a myriad of topics that you and I are going to get into. Let's start with McNeese and LSU baseball. Were those big series wins enough to spark a momentum in a late season
run?
Rick,
it was needed. Rick, I mean, how do you say that's not needed?
Again, this is a righteous TV move. I'm just teasing. I don't want your comments on it yet, but I'm coming back to you
You're
on
talking
that.
about my Tigers, Rick.
I know.
How excited I get.
The Dallas Cowboy. Where's my Dallas Cowboy helmet?
No. How do you, Rick?
Jerry Jones.
What is he
we're
thinking?
all in. We're all in. We're all in. We're going to talk about it. The Cowboys are really all in.
What is he thinking?
I don't know what he's thinking. All right. Here's a question for you. Would you rather see Tom Brady come out of retirement or J.J. Watt?
Stop.
We're going to have fun with that. Hang on to that.
I know what your answer is.
Did you see the roast on Netflix? I've only watched half of it. It is.
Which one now?
It is double R, almost X-rated.
No.
Oh, yeah, it's on Netflix.
I didn't see that.
More on that later in the show.
No, I didn't see that. I
All
got
right,
to watch
the
that.
NBA, the Big Four are out. LeBron is out.
Yeah.
Durant is out.
Yeah.
Steph is out.
Yeah.
Giannis is out.
These young cats stepping up, Rick.
The young Bucks are in. The
Bucks,
dogs
Rick,
are playing.
They saying enough is enough.
Is it good for the NBA?
Yes, it is. It's these young Bucks, Rick. These young
And more
stallions.
with Dr. Wade Rousse a little bit later on in the show. We will entertain you. We're
no doubt about that.
Let's begin with McNeese and LSU baseball. All right, the Cowboys notched that sweep of Corpus Christi. They got the bats going. They scored the runs. They rallied back, that whole thing. Look, they played, before our show production, they had a game with Southern. Let's assume that game went well. But doggone, they got to keep some momentum because you've got to stay in the top 8 to get into the tournament.
Rick. And the thing is,
you
Rick,
talked a lot about confidence and
Rick,
belief.
Rick, that's what starts a team to kind of see where you can gel and that chemistry starts to develop. I mean, we've talked all along, man. Rick, if you're winning, that means you're doing something right. And when kids that are playing together see that, Rick, it makes it gets to where it's just something that starts moving around the complex, the field and stuff, and it works, man. And I mean, right now, Rick, this is the time for you to get hot. You have to.
There is something. I played all of 3 weeks of Little League baseball.
Come on now.
I wasn't very good, and I got bored in right field.
Well,
that's how bad I was.
I didn't play much myself. Okay?
All right, so there is something kind of mystical about baseball. It can come and go. All of a sudden, you can't hit a curveball.
You're right.
All of a sudden, you can't hit that corner of the plate as a pitcher. And then all of a sudden, you can.
Yeah.
There's something just kind of mystical about
it.
it.
And the thing about it, when you say that, Rick,
and confidence and momentum
Rick,
has a lot to do.
I look at it when you hear and you've got to win by 3 runs. And I mean, you got a guy on the batting mound and it's 2 outs, Rick, and he hits a grand slam. I mean, dude, that's kind of special.
And he'd been 0 for 30 before that.
Yeah, that's Rick.
Go figure.
That is kind of special, man.
Look, this weekend series for McNeese against Houston Christian is big.
Yes.
Houston Christian is also trying to stay in the top 8
They
inch
are.
further. So it's a big series at the Joe. Another big series coming up this weekend is LSU at Alabama. Alabama is one of those mid-tier in the SEC West. But they're beatable, and LSU needs to continue after beating top-ranked A&M. You better beat Alabama.
Alabama is good, but Rick, let's talk a little bit about the A&M win. You beat the #1 team in the country.
We've talked about it enough.
I mean, Rick,
get over it. It's over.
This is what my Tigers needed, man. I wish Scooter was sitting there because Scooter could elaborate a lot more on what this win meant for the Tigers.
He'd be saying the same thing. You move on. You move on. No,
okay,
I got
Rick,
your point.
okay.
I got your point.
It
And
was
yes,
huge
it was
for their confidence, Rick.
What
They
it
needed
was
this.
a glimpse of past glory for LSU, meaning last year, right? They won the national championship last year.
Yeah. And you could see, Rick, with all of the talk at the beginning of the year about the bats, the pitches.
Yeah.
You know,
Frustrating
you got to. This is what it culminated to. This is what they have.
Yeah.
They just got to make it work, Rick.
All right. The state high school boys baseball tournament is underway at McMurray.
That's going to be huge.
In Sulphur. Our show production, we don't know the outcome of West Monroe versus Sam Houston, which was 1 versus 3, and number 1 Barb against number 13 Benton. We don't know the results, but let's have a little fun.
You know,
in every scenario, if Sam Houston upsets West Monroe and Barb beats Benton, which I think they will, then you've got the local, super matchup, right?
But for some reason, if that doesn't happen, you've got Barb and West Monroe. We know what that's going to be about.
Remember last year? The controversy, the finger pointing, the coaches getting at it. So either way, it'll be very interesting. It is. Locally, everybody wants the Bucks and Broncos.
They do.
Everybody
wants
the
for
Bucks
the community.
and
It would be, Rick.
And let's not, and that's the two powers locally. And look, they're 1 and 3 in the state. Let's not forget about St. Louis trying to rebound from last year.
Got 7 local teams.
7 local teams. Remember last year, St. Louis lost in the semis. So they're looking to win the state title. Iowa's defending champs in 3A.
They are.
So they're chasing another title.
They are.
Again, you've got DeQuincy was in it. Pitkin in it. I know I'm forgetting somebody. South Bow, which is number 1 seed. So you've got a lot of great talent.
Rick, that is huge, man.
A lot of great talent.
I mean, baseball here in Southwest Louisiana. 7 teams, man. That is huge, Rick.
It is huge, all at McMurray Park, and it goes into the weekend. I think the finals are slated for like 5:30 on Saturday.
We'll be there.
I'm like this for the Bucks and Broncos.
Oh, I'll be there for it. We was there for it last year.
Go local teams. The Max Bar and Grill in Westlake, they're waiting for you for pregame or postgame meals. Get over to the National Golf Club for some great food. All your local favorites at great prices, and you can't beat those big wedge fries. Don't forget about the weekend brunches at the Max.
Story worth telling? It starts with Getaways, specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at Le Berge Lake Charles.
There's nothing better than a game and great tasting Miller Lite. It's less filling than Miller Lite. Tastes great.
Never understood this argument. Let it be both. Miller and Miller. I like it.
What are you doing with the Johnson sofa?
They had a pipe break. Water leaked all over.
Really?
I'm a Roto-Rooter plumber.
Really?
We do water cleanup, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all: plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
What's bugging you? Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
We're back at the Sportsbook at Le Berge. You can dine inside at the Sportsbook, or you can go outside on the patio.
It is lovely out there
and enjoy resort-style lazy river and pools. It's all right there.
Really
Chill
nice
out on the patio at the Sportsbook. SoundOff presented to you by locally owned and operated Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana. They got it all, plumbing and water restoration. Also brought to you by J&J Exterminating, shielding what's near and dear to you, Louisiana, for over 50 years. Coming up in the next segment, we'll continue our conversation with incoming new university president from McNeese State, Dr. Wade Rousse. We had him on earlier in the week. Another part of that conversation is coming up. We get into some really NCAA, state of college athletics, some in-depth stuff. All right. Last week, we covered a lot about the New Orleans Saints draft and the LSU guys and the impact in the NFL from all those Tigers.
Yeah.
We didn't talk much about the Dallas Cowboys.
No, we didn't.
All right, in a recent interview, owner Jerry Jones, I don't know what planet he's on now. I don't know if his faculties are straight. I don't know. I know he's over 80 years old, but he's still a smart man. But Jerry Jones, in a recent interview, said the phrase, we're all in, like 10 times in one sentence. We're all in, we're all in, we're all in, we're all in. Okay, supposedly, how are they all in, Kevin?
With what?
Their defense isn't all that, even with all their turnovers. They still got some holes. And the offense is basically a pretty good offensive line.
Rick.
And CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. You don't have a 2, you don't have a 3 receiver. Tony Pollard is gone, the running back.
Yeah.
Michael Gallup is gone, the number 2 receiver, right?
Tony Pollard was the reason that Ezekiel left.
Right. And guess who's back?
Yeah.
Zeke Elliott.
Yeah. And Tony
Are
Pollard
they
was
counting
the
on
reason
Zeke?
over Tony Pollard. What planet is Jerry?
I
Jerry
don't know.
Jones is a businessman. He is not a football guy. He's a businessman.
That
decision right there was crazy.
Have not been
ludicrous
to the NFC Conference Championship since '95.
And Rick, this is the thing that gets me.
It's unbelievable. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing.
He wants to call the Dallas Cowboys the American team. On what planet?
Well, I guess they still are. I've never
Really?
bought into it, but Zeke Elliott
Really?
is well past his prime.
Man, Zeke is done. I mean,
well past his prime.
Zeke is done, man.
The Eagles are the obvious
Zeke is
favorite
done.
in the NFC East.
They will
had
be.
a great draft.
They will be.
And if they can turn that locker room around
Rick,
and get all that drama out of the locker room,
You know, you've got
Philly's going to be tough.
You've got Dallas right now. I think Dallas is just really stunned right now. You bring.
They didn't
Ezekiel
bring in
Elliott-
any playmaker.
You bring Ezekiel Elliott back for what, Rick?
Well, there's still
What's the reasoning for that?
the summertime camp free agency period when teams start cutting people. You might be able to pick up. Well, let's move on. I asked earlier in the show, who would you rather see come out of retirement for
I
the
know
NFL?
what your answer is going to be.
The GOAT, Tom Brady, or another defensive GOAT, J.J. Watt? And let me give you some context. There's been some happy talk in some media circles that Tom Brady, 45 years old, pushing 46, might just be sitting around waiting
Rick, let me tell you
for
something.
a Goldilocks situation to make a Super Bowl run, to come in on the white horse.
Let me tell you something.
Next season.
If you
It's
got a
possible.
team,
I'm not putting it by.
Listen to me, Rick. I'm with you. We don't agree on much, but I'm with you on this. Because look, you went to Tampa for 1 year. What happened?
You won
one
a Super
year.
Bowl.
Rick, they put
No, 2 years. Remember,
Yeah.
he had that. He got in the playoffs, but they lost. They were
yeah.
like 8 and 9.
But Rick, they invested in an offensive line that would keep Tom Brady upright.
Yeah.
Is that all you have to do?
Well, maybe.
Come on, teams. Is
if
that
there's
what you
a
gotta
team
do?
out there that has it, he
Rick,
might
That's
just.
the formula, Rick.
And
you
this,
keep Tom Brady upright, we have a chance.
this roast that it's on
I missed
Netflix.
that. I missed
You
that,
better
Rick.
keep the kiddos in
that
another
bad, Rick?
room.
Is it that
is
bad?
X-rated,
Wow.
but it's funny as all get out. They're
I bet it
roasting
is.
Tom Brady, and he just might do it to tick off
To
all
tick
those
off all of
people.
them, Rick. I don't blame him. Do it.
So, J.J. Watt has already come out and said to his former teammate, D'Amico Ryans,
Yeah.
who's the coach
Yeah.
of the Houston Texans,
Yeah.
said, if you really, really need me, I'll come back. He says, I'm keeping in shape, but this is the last year I'm going to stay in this country. So
Yeah.
J.J. Watt is talking about coming back.
Rick, you know what? Let me tell you something.
I think
Rick.
it's a great story.
Rick,
I'd love to see it.
It's something about players,
love to
man.
see it.
Some of that stuff you just don't lose, Rick. I mean, sometimes our body's saying no, but your mind's saying yes. And Rick, it gets
Could
to a
you
point.
come back?
Oh, God, no.
There's the flag.
Everything
Holy
would probably
smokes.
explode on me, Rick, okay?
Oh,
but look,
that'd
Rick,
be funny as all get.
Tom Brady, don't laugh at this now. If the right team looks at
The
this
right
and say,
team.
we have invested in an offensive line, Tom Brady will keep you upright, why would he say no?
He could do it. He could do it. All right. Your Pelicans, long gone from the NBA
Be
playoffs.
easy on them, Rick.
I
They
mean,
did. They had the best season ever. They had the best season ever.
Zion Williamson, again, hurt again for the
Yeah.
first playoff series.
Yeah, Rick, but
Swept.
give it to them. They had the best. They had the best team ever since they've been.
The superstars are at home or on the beach. LeBron,
They
Durant,
are,
Steph, Giannis.
It's these young
all
stallions,
gone.
Rick. It's these young stallions that took over.
Ant-Man in Minnesota. Jokic
They took
in
over.
Denver, the defending NBA champ. Brunson with the Knicks. Who am I missing? Donovan Mitchell. Halliburton.
It's these young
SAG
cats, Rick.
in Oklahoma City. All these stars, and of course Ant-Man
Yeah.
for the Wolves. I mean, holy smoke.
They're done.
Is it good to have all these new dogs?
It is, Rick,
taking
yeah.
all the spotlight.
Rick, it is. Why not, Rick? Come on now. Why
LeBron?
not, Rick?
No
Why
Steph
not?
Curry?
No. But Rick, You know, this is what these kids have practiced and prepared for all their lives, to be on this type of stage, Rick. Now you're going to see a shift. You're going to see a shift in the NBA, Rick, to where these younger cats are going to start stepping up, Rick. Going to have some new superstars, Rick.
They're great players. I like to
game.
see it myself. I'm wondering what the impact to the television ratings, because the NBA television ratings have been a little like this through this season.
Somewhat.
So you don't have the Steph Curry draw. You don't have Giannis, who's been injured. Durant, all that.
But you know what?
It could have an impact.
You know what kills me? How do the referees call these games, Rick?
It's going to be fun, isn't it? It is. I don't think anybody's beating the Nuggets. I don't think anybody's beating the Nuggets. But the Minnesota Timberwolves are for real. No doubt about that. Of the 4 big stars I mentioned, LeBron, Durant, Steph, Giannis, who's got the best shot of winning another NBA title out of that group? Think about it. They're all, minus Giannis, they're all 35 and up.
They are.
Steph Curry is not young anymore, even though he looks young.
That's a good question.
It's got to be Giannis.
Yeah.
It's got to be Giannis.
I agree.
For obvious reasons, in my opinion. All right. Coming up next, new University President from McNeese State, Dr. Wade Rousse, will continue our in-depth conversation about the state of college athletics with the NCAA and all the court cases and the like. That's coming up next right here on SoundOff.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
J&J Exterminating is here for you with our water damage sanitation treatments and wood protective borate treatments. There is no charge for home evaluations. Contact your local J&J Exterminating professional.
Hey, mister, are you a Roto-Rooter plumber?
Guilty.
Did you fix what flooded my house?
Sure did.
Toilet overflow?
Nope.
Pipe break?
Getting warmer.
Busted water heater?
Nailed it.
How long can you hold your breath? Is that your real hair? What's the birds and the bees? Do you know where my grandma is?
You know, I don't know.
What's next?
Wrapping up the water cleanup.
You do that too?
We do both.
Fair enough.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup. Yeah, we do both.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all: plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup.
There's nothing better than a game and great tasting Miller Lite. It's less filling, Miller Lite. Tastes great.
Never understood this argument. Let it be both. Miller and Miller. I like it.
What's bugging you? Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
We're back. Glad you're hanging.
Whoa, before you start, I saw something was in the wrong position here. We're gonna put this one in the pole position. We'll put this one in the pole position.
Way to go.
Go, folks.
Messing with my round table already. First time on the show.
I love it.
He's
He's
taking
taking
round
over.
table.
He's taking over, man.
Well, presidents actually kind of do that, don't they?
I love it, man.
Again, let's start this over. Welcome back. Glad you're hanging with us at the Sportsbook at LaBerge. We want to welcome back Dr. Wade Rousse, incoming new president of McNeese State University. Thanks again for spending some time with us.
so much.
Earlier in the week, we spent a lot of time talking about, academics, facilities, enrollment, budget cut, the whole thing. And we got on some sports. I want to talk with you now in regards to the general state of college athletics. You've got a lot of hair. By the time you get in this job, you may not have a lot because it is ever changing. You're pulling your hair out with the changes in college athletics. And if you have a conference realignment, court cases, just a barrage of court cases that can change the landscape of college athletics. In your opinion, Dr. Rousse, where is college sports headed? And is it good?
I can tell you it's changing, and it's going to continue to change. So, where it's heading, I ultimately don't know. In my mind, I think you'll have sort of this, in football at least, you'll have sort of this, I refer to it as this sort of super conference, if you will, the top 40.
The Big Four.
The top 40 or so, and then every 50, and then everybody else is fighting for that underneath there. From where we stand, we think, I'm an economist and a finance guy, so I'm always thinking about what's the optimal spot for our finance department financially. Again, I let my athletic director handle the intricacies, but what drives me is I got to figure out where's the optimal financial position? And for us, it's to try to get into that group of 5, which I think will not be a group of 5, will be another whole set under that top 40 or 50. Because I still think the money games don't go away, and I hate to say this so transparently, but here's why. Here's why. I spoke to a couple of major ADs in the last year that says if they're at an LSU and an SEC school, they can't play 12 type of those games every year. And I hate to be that transparent, but they need to have another game that's the competition's reduced a little bit to kind of rest some folks along the way. For us, it's a financial situation. So are we willing to go up there and make that money game to bring back our department? I think for us, optimally, in overall, we've got to be really, really good in basketball and trying to get to the tournament every year and be in that group of 5. We've got to get in that group of, which is not going to be the group of 5. It's going to be the folks that are under that next tier, underneath those top 40 or 50 football programs.
You know, Heath Troy, the AD, has let it be known for the last 2 years. The goal is to get to FBS
no
football.
doubt.
It is.
Okay, let's talk about the here
money,
and now.
Rick. That's where the money
let's
is.
say, over the 2 or 3 year frame. Conference USA has been talked a lot about. The Sun Belt has been. Maybe there's somebody else out there. Is that your goal?
Yes. So I look, just for, again, complete transparency, I know if you had public records requests, which there's some legislation, going on about that, but it's still there.
Don't go there.
But if you ask for Heath's contract, you would see one of the incentives in there that I wrote the contract is to try to get us to FBS football. There's a monetary incentive to get us there simply because it's better for our school. It's better for the financial sustainability. Given the footprint today, now as you said earlier, it's changing so quickly. What does it look like in 2 years? But today, the sweet spot is to be in FBS football and to be really good in basketball. And we want to support all of our programs, right? We're proud. Look, softball, I don't know, I heard y'all talking a little bit softball.
Coach Landry,
amazing. It's unbelievable.
It is.
The GPA of that squad is unbelievable.
Wow.
Gilroy does a phenomenal job in track. All of our coaches. They all play
a
role.
great group of coaches.
They all play a role in what we do, and to understand that it's the idea of elevating the brand. We are in a fierce competition.
That's true.
For students.
It's true.
And if you're that marginal kid sitting in Jennings, Louisiana, and they see us on ESPN, or they hear about a wonderful theater event on our campus, or a block party, or country fest, or all the things that we're trying to do, is to win that marginal kid so they can have that student experience on our campus. Athletics is a big driver in that.
It is.
Doc sees the big picture of what it is. He's showing me it's what LSU does every Saturday. Right. It's a concert, it's a party. You want to be able to invest in something, not only a game. You want to have something that's going to be sustainable, that's going to last, where you can go away and say, you know what, the kids had a great time and they didn't even talk about the game.
And it's not only in that stadium.
Yes.
All those restaurants before the game, those restaurants after the game. I mean, the economic impact of Saturday night in Baton Rouge, I've actually worked on some of those studies, is extraordinary.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And people don't realize that it's a game being played, but there's other things that are happening. Now, one of the things, Doctor, we talked about that we know is going to be the moneymaker there at McNeese is going to be the stadium. Where is that at right now for us, for how we can market, I say we, how y'all can market that new stadium, suites, all of that?
It's we now. You want to try to put this on?
Make them hold it thing. I'm gonna make him sing Jolie Blanc.
Don't have the Tiger fans upset with me now.
But it's an important question, though.
That's your money maker.
It's an important question.
How do you market that?
We don't call it a skybox anymore because it's really going to be 2 levels of suites, and the press box is going to be underneath, right on top of the bowl. So we're going to have 2 full levels of suites. Just so you know, the lost revenue from that thing, given its old version, is about $500,000 a year. The new version, we got twice the number of suites. Naming rights are coming. Really? It's about $1 million a year to the athletic budget when you finally look at it. Here's the good news. There's a lot of research being done in the economic literature that talks about how do you measure the impact of enrollment in college athletics. How does athletics impact the enrollment on the university?
Yes.
It's not only anymore at our level, it's not only about attendance in the stadium. We were talking about that earlier. A lot of kids, young adults, they stream stuff and they look at things differently. The impact's measured different than just attendance in the university. But the one area where attendance has not suffered, I'm not talking about the LSU's, our level, is premium seating. People still want premium seating. So that skybox up there, what we call the skybox, really going to be suites, is we've got a list from here to the other side of the river that folks that want to get in it. So we think the bottom line of athletics, by the time we do the naming rights, sell out all the suites, is about $1 million a year to our athletic budget that we've lost. Look, we've lost 500,000 because we're 4 years from the storm here.
Mother Nature.
So But
Mother Nature.
Blessing in disguise. Good Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yes,
if that
he
thing
does.
comes back and gets it to where we think it will be, it'll be $1 million injection to
Our
our
final 30 seconds. Let's talk a little
That's
bit
huge.
about success on the athletic fields, courts, or whatever. Lynn Kennedy, girls basketball coach, you retained him. The success has not been there. Gary Goff, in entering his third year, only 4 wins over 2 years. Quickly, you mentioned that you put goals to Heath Schroyer that should filter down. Are you going to be hardline in expectations for improvement in wins?
Absolutely. I think Heath
No
would
doubt.
tell you that we say
No
that
doubt.
he's got to have 6 teams in the top 3 in the conference every year.
No doubt.
We want an emphasis on a few of them. I think from what I'm seeing from the outside, again, I don't get into the intricacies, but I do set objectives. He's got to be in the top 3 in 6 sports. And I think what you've seen Coach Kennedy do from the outside looking in, some of those moves here recently, I think you'll see a much better team. And I'm excited about Coach Goff.
I am
But
too.
make no mistake about it, got to win.
Yeah.
And Heath will get
That's
Heath
the
will-
bottom line.
Heath will get held accountable for that.
We appreciate your time. We
That's
are
all,
out of
Jake.
time. Thanks,
Appreciate
Dr.
you.
Wade Rousse. We'll see you next time right here at SoundOff.
Hey, mister, did you fix what flooded my house?
Sure did.
Busted water heater?
Nailed it.
What's next?
Wrapping up the water cleanup.
You do that too?
We do both.
Fair enough.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup. Yeah, we do both.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all: plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup.
If it's a story worth telling, it starts with Getaways specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at L'Auberge Lake Charles.
There's nothing better than a game and great tasting Miller Lite. It's less filling than Miller Lite. Tastes great.
Never understood this argument. Let it be both. Miller and Miller. I like it.